Hello my angels, I hope you're all doing well. So today we actually tested out the Morphe 2 collection and the products in it. I tested out the brushes, the lip and cheek tint, the jelly eyeshadows, and of course the skin tint. And I have some thoughts. So if you want to see what I thought of these products, just keep watching. So I did pick up a few items. You can get Morphe 2 on Sephora here in Canada, or of course on the Morphe website. So the item that I'm probably most excited for is the Hint Hint Skin Tint. This is a sheer to medium coverage foundation. This sounds right up my alley. Now Morphe 2 seems to be aimed at a younger demographic, but let's see if it still works on my skin today. So I picked up the skin tint in Hint of Toast. I'm hoping this will be a good match for me. So I also picked up the brush set that they released with this collection. I think the only thing that I didn't pick up was the lip gloss, just because I have so many glosses and the gloss looked very, very basic to me. So these are the brushes that you get here, and it comes in this little see-through pouch. I really like the white packaging. Okay, so with the brushes, we do get a buffing kind of brush here. We get a dome packing brush. We also get this powder brush. I'd probably use that to set under the eyes. And then you also get this flat foundation brush. Brushes do not have numbers on them, but I think these are the only Morphe brushes that look like this. Now, I'm definitely going to be using this buffing brush. This is my absolute favorite kind of brush. Now, these feel very, very light, but that's okay. The next thing I picked up from the collection is the Wonder Tint Cheek and Lip Mousse, and this is in Dream. This is the peachy color. Of course, I had to pick up the peach. So this is the lip and cheek tint, a beautiful peachy color. And the last item I picked up from the Morphe 2 collection is the Jelly Eye Shimmer, and this is in Sunshine. So this is a rose gold jelly shadow here. Looks really beautiful, kind of has an iridescent finish to it. Okay, so we are going to be doing a very, very minimal, easy, simple look, and I think that was Morphe's intention, to kind of create a simple collection of products that are really easy to use and navigate. A lot of people said that this collection reminds them of Glossier, which has that same kind of idea behind it. So the first thing we're going to be using is the skin tint. I am most excited for this. And you also get quite a bit of product here. So you do get 1 fluid ounce of product. So that is the color here, Hint of Toast. I'm going to be using this brush that came in the collection. Now this is very watery. Now that is definitely a little bit too dark for me. Skin tints are more forgiving because they don't have as much coverage or pigment, so they do kind of blend into your skin even if they don't match perfectly, which is great. Now, if I were to order this again, I would definitely order a lighter shade. So it does give us a bit of coverage and color, not a ton. So it calls itself a sheer to medium coverage. This is definitely sheer to light. I wouldn't say this is medium. We can try to build it up a bit. Let's add another layer and see how it builds. Okay, so on this side here, I did add another layer and it did give us a bit more coverage compared to this side. So you can definitely build it, which is really nice to have in a product like this. That way you can really customize it depending on what you feel like that day. I'm really actually liking that. This is exactly the type of product I like to wear. It's not giving us a super glowy or dewy finish, but it is giving us a bit of glow. And it did really even out my skin tone, which is great. And also this brush seemed to work really well with that product. Now this collection did not offer a concealer, so we're gonna be going in with my current favorite. This is the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. And this is definitely high coverage. So opposite to that skin tint, this will give you a lot of coverage, but I do like to use a higher coverage concealer under my eyes, and I've been loving this concealer, so we'll see how it looks with the skin tint. And in this concealer, I'm using the shade NC30. Now for the concealer, I'm going to be using this other brush from the collection and see how this works. Trust me when I say this concealer is absolutely amazing. And I actually purchased this concealer because Hanny Bakes here on YouTube talked about how it was her absolute favorite, so I immediately went on the MAC website and ordered it, and I am not disappointed at all. I am loving it. For me, this is the perfect kind of concealer. I do like a lighter coverage on my face, but under my eyes, I want something high coverage. but not super matte, and I don't find that this one's matte or drying at all. This brush definitely isn't my favorite for concealer, and it's probably not meant for concealer, but for today, it will do the trick. So I'm really liking how that concealer is looking with the skin tint. They seem to be blending really well. Now I'm just going to be taking a sponge and pressing that concealer into the skin tint and into the skin just to really blend everything together. And I'm not going to be setting my face just because we want to keep everything very natural, glowy, you know. For my brows, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Ultra Slim Pencil. And of course, I'm going to be setting my brows with the Got2b hair gel. Now let's go ahead and try that cheek and lip tint. Again, this is in the color Dream. I'm going to try to apply this with a brush. It probably would work really well with your fingers, but that's kind of difficult for me right now. So I'm going to be using this Juvia's Place small complexion brush, and we're just going to go ahead and dab that on the cheeks. Okay, so this is a lot more pigmented than I thought. Always with products like this, I'm expecting them to be super sheer, kind of like the Fenty cream cheek products, but a lot of them I've tried recently have not been. Now this is kind of reminding me of a cream to powder formula. It's really not looking like a cream once you get it on the cheeks. It's kind of setting down like a powder, which might mean that it lasts long, which would be good. And you only need a tiny, tiny bit because it is quite pigmented. This is way more pigmented than I thought it was gonna be. And they do have quite a few colors in this as well. I'm actually pretty impressed with that color, but it does apply like a powder once you get it on the skin. It's not giving me that usual kind of really dewy look that cream cheek products give me. Now I do want to put this on my lips as well, just because it's intended for lips and cheeks. I'm just going to go in with a small smudge brush again because my fingers, and apply some of that to the lips, and then we'll just tap it in. Now, if you like a monochromatic look, you would probably really like these for matching your lip to your cheek. These go on really dry on the lips. They definitely do. I don't know if you can see this, but they go on like a powder, and it feels like a powder on your lips. It does not feel like a balm or a cream. It feels more like a powder, and it is quite dry on the lips. So what I would say, if you're going to be using those on your lips, definitely use a lip balm or lip mask first to make sure your lips are super hydrated. I didn't think my lips were super dry, but right now I'm seeing a lot of dryness. It's clinging to the fine lines in my lips. So because this is so dry on my lips, I'm going to go ahead and top it off with one of the new Colourpop Lux Lip Oils. I talked about these in my Colourpop video where I tested the new Wild Nothing collection. I love these new lip oils, and this is just going to be a lot more comfortable with the lip oil on top. That way you can still get the monochromatic look with the cheeks and it matches, but then you have something more moisturizing on top of the lips. Now for the eyes, let's try out this beautiful jelly eye shimmer. This is in Sunshine. So this is what it's looking like once I kind of broke that top layer. That is what it looks like on my finger. It definitely has a jelly texture. I don't know how I feel about that texture, but let's see how it looks on the eyes. I'm just gonna put it on the back. Oh. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's very chunky on my hand there. It's not giving me an even coat of product. It's coming off into chunks, and then I'm kind of rubbing the chunks out. So that's after rubbing the chunks out there. Well, let's apply it to the eyes and see how it goes. But so far, I don't like the texture of that. I think that they were going for something different with the jelly texture, and Colourpop does jelly matte shadows. But with the Colourpop jelly matte shadows, they're not actually a jelly. It's more on the liquidy side, whereas this is thick and chunky. Now to apply that to our lids, let's use the Morphe 2 brush. This is the small dome brush here, and we'll see how it applies to the lids. Wish me luck. Okay, so it's definitely applying nicer to the lids than it did on the back of my hand. It feels very wet, kind of strange. So we're not getting a lot of the color payoff of that beautiful rose gold, and it's turning into really just glitter, which is okay if that's the kind of thing you want, but I was hoping to get a little more color, but this is kind of just a sheer glitter, if you can see, but it's not chunky. Let's see if we can layer a bit more of that. And it does apply okay with that brush. I would say it applies better with the brush than your finger. I'm just layering that up to see if we can get more of that color. Okay, so this is okay. I'd definitely be curious to see how it lays on top of other eyeshadows. I would say it might not lay on top of them well. Okay, so I want you to be able to see what this looks like on my eyelids. It's okay. I'm not crazy about it. I definitely have just regular eyeshadows that work a lot better than this. It's not giving me a very even coat of color either. So I would say no to this one. I have Colourpop metallic and shimmer shadows that work a lot better than this for a lot less price, that come in palettes. So even when I use the Wild Nothing collection from Colourpop, the metallic green shadow went on so pigmented, so smooth, gave you a really beautiful foiled finish, which is what I was expecting from this. But this just seems to give you a sheer wash of glitter, which if that's what you're looking for, it's fine, but I was expecting a little more from this. And I know it is supposed to be a natural look, but if you're looking at glitter shadows, that's not really natural to begin with, so I want it to pack a little more punch, in my opinion. So now we're just gonna go ahead and do our mascara. I'm gonna curl my lashes and add the Tarte Big Ego mascara, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the last thing we are going to do is bronze up the face. I'm going to use the Physicians Formula and Whaley palette, which I absolutely love. We are going into the Sunset Bronzer. And this is my big fluffy EIG Show brush, which I am obsessed with. Okay, my love, so this is the finished look using all Morphe 2 products. Let's go over the products and what I thought of them quickly. So, definitely the standout product for me, and the one that I would say is worth your money, is the skin tint. It's no surprise that I love this product. I love light coverage skin tints and BB cream, that type of thing. I don't like feeling like I have a mask on my face, so I really do like this product. Now this one, Hint of Toast, was a little dark for me, but I still made it work. So they definitely are forgiving when it comes to shades, and that's the power of using a sheer to light coverage product. So I definitely thought this one was nice, and I will see how it wears throughout the day and keep you guys posted. Now the Morphe brushes for this collection are okay. They're just like standard makeup brushes or standard Morphe brushes. They're not as good as the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill brushes, which are my favorite brushes from Morphe. They do the job, but I think there are definitely brushes out there that you can get that do the same, if not better. So I would recommend the EIG Show brushes or the Juvia's Place brushes over these ones. Now for these two potted products. So the Jelly Eye Shimmer, I would say, is definitely a no for me. I have eyeshadows from Colourpop that work way better. The Super Shock shadows do what I was hoping this would do for less money. I just found that this had a chunky, weird texture to it, and it wasn't easy to apply to the eye. It also didn't give me the type of color I was looking for. It just gave me glitter. Now the cheek and lip mousse. So this did give us quite a bit of pigment, more than I was expecting, but it did apply and dry down like a powder, which isn't my favorite. I was expecting it to have a glowy finish. As you saw, this was very drying on the lips. I had to apply a lip oil over top just because it was so drying and sunk into the fine lines on my lips. So I think there are better cream products that you can buy for your cheeks and lips, like the Fenty cream blushes are amazing, and also the MAC Glow Play blushes are really nice as well. Okay, my loves, so those are my final thoughts on the products. Have you tried anything from the Morphe 2 line? Are you planning on trying it? What did you think of the collection as a whole? Please let me know in the comments down below. I always love to hear what you guys think of these new releases. Also, if there's a new release that you want me to try, let me know as well so I can review it here on my channel. As always, thank you so much for spending some time with me today, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.